Yo, this is Jay from Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, we're going to be doing the post-Week 10 NFL Power Rankings. This is a list that me and Orb make every single week. We make a video about it. The rankings, they can change based on wins, records, injuries, how the team plays, all those types of things. And if you guys have been tracking, we do this every single week, either on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on whenever we have time to make the video. But overall here in Week 10, we had a pretty good week. Let's go ahead and get into it. At 32, Carolina Panthers, that's exactly where they were last week. I can't justify moving them up. I know they did win 2 games in a row, but the offense looks bad. Bryce Young still looks bad. So they're getting wins, but they're not playing well, which is why I still have them at 32. At 31, you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's exactly where they were last week. This team has had a lot of injuries. Both of the running backs are banged up. Christian Kirk's hurt. Brian Thomas has some sort of injury. They didn't have Trevor Lawrence this week either. So they have Mac Jones. I kind of thought maybe that would give them a little bit of a spark. They'd play a little bit better, but they still got the loss. So they're sitting at 31. They really kind of need to go into the rebuild and figure out if Trevor Lawrence is going to be the guy, because with how he's playing right now, if you told me he wasn't, I probably wouldn't disagree with you. At 30, you got the Tennessee Titans. They moved back one spot. Titans just suck. I mean, same thing with the Jaguars. They need to go into a rebuild. They lost 27-17 to the Los Angeles Chargers. Like, this team is not good. They need to figure out what they're doing. At 29, the New York Giants, they dropped 4 spots. Really bad loss to the Carolina Panthers over in London this week, I believe it was. You can't lose to the Panthers. They're the worst team on the list. If you lose to them, you're going to fall in the rankings. That's obvious. At 28, we have the New England Patriots. That's exactly where they were last week. They got the win. But, I mean, it really wasn't that good of a win in my book. I mean, the Bears, they're not that good. And overall, if you're just looking at the Patriots roster, it's really just not that good. At 27, you have the Cleveland Browns. That's where they were last week. They had a bye week, so nothing to really move them up or down. At 26, the Las Vegas Raiders, same thing. Bye week, exactly where they were last week. Nothing really they did to move themselves up or down. At 25, we have the New York Jets. They drop one spot. Pretty embarrassing loss to the Cardinals. Don't get me wrong. If you lose to the Cardinals, all right. Cardinals are actually a lot better than I expected them to be. I didn't think they were this good until I was looking at the record. But you can't let your offense only put up 6 points on them while your defense gives up, I believe it was 30-something. So, bad game for the Jets. The offense is looking bad. The defense is looking bad. All around, the Jets just need to figure it out, because if they keep losing games, I might have to keep moving them down the list, because this team's not looking good. I don't know. They fired their head coach, and I believe it was the OC. They relieved him of duties, and I just thought it would turn around, and it never did. At 24, we have the New Orleans Saints. They move up 6 spots. This is a team that's dealt with a lot of injuries. No Shaheed, done for the year. Derek Carr is finally back and healthy. Chris Olave is probably done for the year with his concussions. But they finally got a win. They fired their head coach. Who knows, maybe with the new head coach, the special teams coordinator filling in, maybe with him in there, that'll light a spark on this team, can win some games. But they did win this week, so they move up 6 spots. At 23, we have the Dallas Cowboys. They dropped 3 spots with the news because of Dak's injury, him potentially being done for the year. Not a good look for the Dallas Cowboys. Cooper Rush came in and played. He didn't really play good either. So, yeah, the Cowboys, they're in a tough spot right now. Definitely one of the bottom teams in the league. At 22, we have the Indianapolis Colts. That's exactly where they were last week. They didn't play bad. They did put up, I believe it was 20 points on the Buffalo Bills. And they did today just announce Anthony Richardson will be playing the rest of the season. I think that's the best move for the Colts, so I'm not going to move them too far up or down. They're going to stay exactly where they were last week. At 21, the Chicago Bears. They dropped 2 spots. The Bears just have not been playing good. They fired their offensive coordinator. There's people calling for Caleb Williams to get benched. Maybe things will turn around, but as of right now, they're sitting at 21. At 20, we have the Los Angeles Rams with a loss in Monday Night Football to the Miami Dolphins. That's going to drop them 4 spots. When you're competing for a playoff spot or the division, like the Rams were, you cannot lose to the Dolphins, especially in primetime. That's a big loss. At 19, the Miami Dolphins, they move up 4 spots. Big win in primetime. They're probably out of the contention of winning the division. They had a rough start with Tua, but the wild card is still very much open if they go on a run and some teams lose out, but lose a lot of games. They can still have a chance to make playoffs. At 18, the Denver Broncos, sitting exactly where they were last week. Broncos played a good game. Close game against the Kansas City Chiefs. almost give the Chiefs the first loss. Didn't end up coming out that way. I'm not going to move them up or down. At 17, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, just like where they were last week. I had a comment last video saying how maybe they'll move up because they had a pretty good game. They did. They played the Ravens really good, but they've lost so much that they really need to start winning to move up on this list. So I'm going to sit them out exactly where they were last week at 17. Like I said, they played good, so I can't justify moving them down, but they didn't get the win, so I can't justify moving them up. Same thing with the Denver Broncos. At 16, we have the Arizona Cardinals. They move up 5 spots. Big win over the Jets, and like I was saying earlier in the video, I didn't realize how good the Cardinals were. With the Rams division, and I'm a Rams fan, that's why I call it the Rams division, but with that division, every team is still in play. The Cardinals have a chance to win that division, so I feel like I've been sleeping on them, and now that I realize the record, I moved them up 5 spots to where they probably should be. At 15, we have the Seattle Seahawks. They had a bye week this week, not too much to really move them up or down. 14, the Green Bay Packers. They had a bye week this week, not too much to move them up or down, so they're exactly where they were last week. At 13, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They dropped 1 spot. They're only dropping because of losses. This team is pretty hurt right now as well. But I'm going to be honest with you, I've been pretty shocked with how this team's playing. They've been in a lot of games, even with all the injuries that they are having. So once Mike Evans comes back, that should really help this team. Kate Otton's developing a connection with Baker Mayfield. So it'll be interesting to see how the Buccaneers play the rest of the year when Mike Evans comes back. Obviously, they're not going to have Chris Godwin. He's done for the year. But still, getting a guy like Mike Evans will help this offense, and it should open up more passing games for Kate Otton. At number 12, we have the Houston Texans. They dropped 2 spots. The Texans, they played a really bad game. They started out, they were in it, but they let the Lions come back. I don't know how you can lose a game when you have the other team's quarterback throw 5 interceptions. That is embarrassing. It's going to show on the list. They're down 2 spots. If you told me, hey, move them back further, I would agree with you. But for me and Orb Smoke, we have them sitting at number 12 right now. At 11, we have the Atlanta Falcons. They dropped 2 spots. They also had a loss this week. Don't get me wrong, the Falcons are good. I just feel like they're kind of streaky. They either play really good or they kind of lay a dud. This week was kind of a dud. Other than Bijan. Bijan played good. Kirk Cousins really did not. At number 10, you got the Los Angeles Chargers. They move up 2 spots. The Chargers, I don't want to say they're legit because they just beat the Titans, who aren't good at all. But, the Chargers are kind of surprising me. This team, they're not a team you can sleep on. They're sitting at 10 right now. They got a good record. I believe they're second in their division, which is not something I would have expected with their lack of wide receivers. But, hey, Chargers, good for you. You're sitting at 10. At number 9, the San Francisco 49ers, they move up 2 spots. They got the win. McCaffrey came back. Not much to say there. Hopefully they can move up in the near future. At number 8, we have the Washington Commanders. They dropped 5 spots. They had a big, important game this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they lost in a heartbreaking fashion. If you ask me, I would have gave the first down to them, so the game would have kept going on, and they would have had a chance to tie it up or take the lead. I don't remember which it is. But, hey, I'm not an official. I don't get to make that call. At 7, Pittsburgh Steelers, they move up 1 spot. Big win over the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are a good team, so to beat them, you're going to move up. I don't think the Steelers are still all that good, but if they keep winning, who knows? Maybe that'll change my mind. At 6, Minnesota Vikings, they drop 1 spot. They got a win, don't get me wrong, but it was kind of an embarrassing win. I believe they won 12-7 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you're playing a team like the Jaguars who don't have a good defense or a good offense, you got to play better. The Vikings defense played good, only holding under 7 points, but their offense, you got to put up more than 12 points on the Jaguars. At number 5, we have the Philadelphia Eagles moving up 2 spots. The Eagles, they've kind of figured out their rhythm on offense. They're playing a lot better than what they were at the beginning of the year. So if that keeps happening, who knows? Maybe this team can keep moving up. I went into the year thinking they were a top 5 team to start the year. I kind of moved off of that, but I'm back on that train now. At number 4, the Buffalo Bills. They move up 2 spots. The Bills are a good team. I was worried. I wanted to see them do it more consistently with the lack of wide receivers they have. They're a good team. They're playing really well, even with the lack of wide receivers. And they also kind of addressed their wide receiver needs by trading for Amari Cooper a couple weeks ago. James Cook's been a lot better than I expected, so they are a top 4 team in the NFL as of right now. At number 3, the Detroit Lions. They moved back 1 spot. The Lions got the win, but I can't move you up or I can't keep you even when your quarterback turns the ball over 5 times. That is not a good look. They're still sitting at 3, but they do drop 1 spot from last week. At number 2, the Baltimore Ravens. They move up 2 spots. Good division win against the Cincinnati Bengals. Put up a lot of points. Defense didn't play exactly well because they let up a lot of points too. But hey, they get the win in prime time, so we're going to move them up, mainly because of how bad the Lions played. If the Lions would have played better, the Ravens wouldn't be sitting at 2. But at number 1, you got the person that's been in the front all the way throughout the season, the Kansas City Chiefs. They have not lost the game yet, so they're at number 1. That's exactly where they were last week. The Chiefs are good. I'm a little bit worried about how they're playing, though. Mahomes, he's not really playing good football. And when that comes to playoff times, I'm worried as to how that will translate. But overall, like I was saying, pretty good week here in Week 10. We've seen a lot of crazy things happen, like I didn't think the Eagles were going to come out and have a really good second half like they did. The first half, it was kind of close. But like I was saying, this is subjective, so go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of these rankings. Let me know if you think someone should be higher. Let me know if you think someone should be lower. We like to read that stuff. But when it comes to this video, that's all we got. So if you enjoyed, please remember to like and sub for more Madden content, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.